Welcome to the last day of virtual open house. I hope everybody out there in Facebook and YouTube land that you have stuck with us this entire week. We are so thankful, and I am so excited for the incredible guests that I get to sit with today. So we're going to hear all about campus services. They're going to tell you some incredible stuff. But first up, I promised you yesterday, we have a special guest that's coming out to show you Scrappy! Woo! This is our giveaway raffle entry bag, very fancy. Scrappy picked out all these items himself in the bookstore, our really cool bookstore.
So fancy.
Scrappy really doesn't want to give up the bag, but Scrappy's going to have to because we are going to award the winner of the raffle giveaway entry on Monday, October the 26th. The only way to win is to enter. So every session that you watch, right now, campus services, later on, university research, career planning and development, last session today, student affairs, make sure every session you watch, you enter to win this giveaway raffle bag. Really cool things inside. Thank you, Scrappy. We appreciate you being here. Have an awesome night.
Hooty-hoo.
Hooty-hoo. Well done. Okay,
So
very cool. So I'm Jordan Stevenson. I'm the Director of Student Recruitment. And these are my wonderful friends from Campus Services. So I'm going to let them introduce themselves, and then we're going to get talking about Campus Services.
Thanks, Jordan. Thank you guys for having us. My name's Tiffany Hartz, and I am a part of the Campus Services family. And we are going to talk to you about all of our departments. We have many departments in Campus Services. And this is Catherine.
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Catherine Ellsworth. I'm super excited to be here today. I also work with Campus Services as a marketing communication specialist, and I am an OWL alum. So I'm super excited to be able to talk, to you guys about all of the amazing things that we have for our students, and I can say that I've experienced them firsthand, so I know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean?
What's that saying? You're not just the owner, you're a client. Like this is not just. I don't just.
It was so good that I came back. You know?
Yeah, right. There you go. Awesome.
Yeah.
Tiffany, you yourself are an OWL as well.
I am. I'm an MBA student here at KSU, and I graduate in just a couple months in December. I will be a part of the Proud OWL alumni family. I'm so excited to be a part of the team.
That's going to be awesome. We're going to have to celebrate real big.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like COVID's going to go away to celebrate your
just
MBA.
For graduation.
I will be celebrating just by myself. I can't wait. It's been a long 2 years, but I'm excited. But thank you.
Very good. Well, thank you all for being with us today. Thank you most of all for all the students and the parents that are out there that are watching this because they desperately want to hear from Campus Services.
Yeah. We're
Y'all
excited
are
to be
a
here.
hot ticket, right?
Yes.
So, Tiffany, tell everybody out there a little bit about Campus Services.
Sure. So Campus Services is a really big department made up of smaller departments. And these departments are the departments that parents and students have a lot of questions about as they're choosing schools. As you're looking for schools for your student to attend, you have questions about what is the housing like on campus? What is the dining like on campus? Where is my student going to park at? Is there transportation options on campus? And so all of those things that I've mentioned in the bookstore, which is where the great giveaway bag came from, all of those things are a part of the Campus Services department. And so housing is a big part of that. So we're going to get to housing in just a little bit. We're going to talk all about housing. But Campus Services is kind of made up of all of those departments that you might have those questions about. So kind of one great resource I want to make sure that our viewers at home know about today is our Talon One Service Center. And so there's a slide that has contact information with the Talon One Service Center's website and phone number and email. Prospective students, if you're interested in KSU and have questions, this is just a great resource for students coming into KSU or just want to learn a little bit more about KSU, about any of our departments. Just a great resource for you to know about. And we actually have a video that highlights a little bit more about Campus Services departments and tells you a little bit more about what this Talon One Service Center does for you.
The Talon One Service Center is a customer service hub dedicated to answering your questions about campus services and its affiliated departments and entities. These include housing and residence life, parking and transportation, university dining, the KSU bookstore, and more. It's a great place to start if you have any campus services related questions. Talon One is staffed with friendly KSU students who are happy to assist you with your questions. These staff members are a great resource, especially for new students, because they can draw from their own experiences with plenty of KSU knowledge to share. Our Talon One team is here to serve you. You can call, email, or visit the Talon One Service Center located inside the Student Center on each campus. Our phone number is 470-578-8663, or you can email talon1@kennesaw.edu. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. We look forward to serving you during your time here. Welcome to the nest, and go Owls!
Okay, so that video highlights very briefly just a little bit about the Talon One Service Center. So we'll give you their contact information again at the end of this session, so you can contact them if you have any questions. But like I mentioned, Talon One is a great resource for questions about housing, which we're going to talk about in a second, and also dining, which we know you probably have questions about too. So dining is actually award-winning. We've got an awesome dining program here at KSU. We have been ranked 5th best in the nation for a few years now. We've received that ranking, and so we're really proud of our dining program. We think we've got awesome food, awesome events, and our people in our dining program are really great as well. So we've got a video to show you about our dining program as well, to show you just a little bit more about how our dining halls work, and to tell you more about our retail dining options like Chick-fil-A and Moe's. So we'll show you that video, and then we'll talk a little bit more about what you can expect at KSU.
Welcome to KSU's award-winning dining program, which is ranked as one of the best in the nation. At KSU, our chefs source fresh ingredients for the menus served at our 2 dining halls, Stinger's at Marietta campus and the Commons at Kennesaw. And many of those ingredients are sourced from local and regional farmers and food artisans. In addition to our dining halls, we've partnered with popular national brands like Chick-fil-A, Moe's, and Starbucks to bring some of your favorite restaurants to campus. And Grubhub will help make it easy for you to get it all to go. At our dining halls, our rotating menus offer a broad variety of options, like made-to-order omelets and sandwiches, as well as a selection of internationally inspired cuisines alongside American favorites and home-inspired comfort foods like fried chicken, a KSU tradition on Thursdays. You can also look forward to special themed menus such as our Stinger's Steakhouse series and our annual crawfish boil, along with fun events like game night with your friends. We believe that food brings people together, and having a meal plan is a great way to ensure that you have those memory-making college experiences by dining on campus. While students can't beat the convenience and community of eating on campus, there are ample options available for getting your food to go, from the Grubhub app to the takeout club at the dining halls. Regardless of whether you're craving chips and queso, wanting to grab a pizza from the dining hall to heat up late night, or getting Chick-fil-A nugget trays for your study group, University Dining has you covered. We have several meal plan options available for both residential and commuter students, and our meal plans can save you both time and money. Our access and weekly meal plans include discounted entries into Stinger's and the Commons. Plus, we offer dining dollars, which students can use to purchase food and beverages sales tax-free from any on-campus restaurant, including takeout from the dining halls. You can even pay with dining dollars when ordering on campus through the Grubhub app, picking something up at the market, our on-campus convenience store, or getting a snack from one of the vending machines around campus. All residential students receive a meal plan based on their earned credit hours as a part of their room and board expenses. However, this cost is billed separately from the housing fees. Students can change or upgrade their residential plan up to the drop-add deadline at the end of the first week of each semester. Our website, dining.kennesaw.edu, offers a wealth of information about how to access these services and more. Commuter students can go there to build a customized plan, or you can let us do the work and select one of the pre-built residential meal plans. You can also review our on-campus dining hours, locations, and learn more about our meal plans. So go to dining.kennesaw.edu so you can purchase or upgrade your meal plan and start enjoying some of our delicious food and expand your menu of options. Thank you for taking the time to review our dining options. We look forward to seeing you in one of our dining halls or delivering a takeout option for you next time you get hungry. See you soon.
Awesome. So that video hopefully shows you a little bit more about our dining experience at KSU. We have meal plan information on our website if you're curious about what meal plans might look like for your student. That pricing and things like that haven't been decided for this upcoming school year, but definitely be checking out our dining website, dining.kennesaw.edu, for more information about that. But our food is phenomenal.
Yes.
In our dining halls. And Jordan, I think you have a favorite.
Yeah, I have a tip, right? Like this is how you should approach going into the Commons or into Stingers. So Stingers is on the Marietta campus, the Commons on the Kennesaw campus. And when you go in, this is, unless you're lactose intolerant and
Gluten
you have
intolerant.
celiacs,
Yeah.
you're gluten-free, something like that, this is the way you do it. You go in, and if you're going into the Commons, it's a hard right, like 90 degrees.
Immediately.
Pass by the drink station, and you go straight to the pizza bar.
Yes.
You get what looks to be your favorite piece of pizza. Whatever you're looking for, we've got it, and it's phenomenal, made fresh right there in front of you. Yep. You grab a piece of pizza. You don't need a plate. No need for a plate. You're not going to need it.
Maybe
You
a
just,
plate.
No.
Napkins?
I mean, y'all could because this is your area, but for me, I don't ever get a plate.
No plate
Plates
for
are for
Jordan.
later.
Okay.
I needed free hands
Right.
to enjoy the pizza, because I eat with this hand and then make hand motions with the other.
And we have hand sanitizing stations all over.
That's true, yeah. So I can sanitize while I
right.
eat, switch hands for the next one. But you get a piece of pizza, and that's your appetizer to walk around the rest of the Commons to see what else
smart.
is there, right?
Yeah.
And same thing for Stingers, but there's no 90-degree turn. As soon as you go through the turnstiles, you pass Miss Sue, and you go straight to the pizza bar. It's straight ahead, due north. Grab that piece of pizza, walk around. Also, I think, Catherine, we had talked about this the other day. If you're over in the pizza bar area and there are garlic knots,
Always get
don't
garlic
pass them
knots.
up. So maybe that's where
Yes.
And
get
cheesy
a bowl.
bread at Stingers.
Yeah, anything.
A bowl
yeah.
for the garlic knots.
Yeah.
Sometimes, but the cheesy bread at Stingers.
So good.
They make phenomenal cheesy bread. It is basically just pizza without sauce.
Yeah.
But they cut it into squares, and it is chef's kiss. It is magic.
I do
It's
something
amazing.
similar, but with fries. Like instead of pizza, I do fries. So when I was a student, I would walk into the Commons and go straight for Highway 92. That's what it's called, right?
Highway
92. It's our
Or
like
Highway 41.
all-American
41.
Highway 41.
That's right. Highway 41.
Double.
They all
live
sound
off of-
different. I live
you
off
live
of
on
Highway 92.
Well, that's right.
It's a joke for us because 41 goes
right.
north and south,
Yeah.
92 east and west, and
Yeah.
you're just like,
Well,
why?
41
I think-
runs between
Why did you do
campuses,
this?
It's true.
So that kind of
I think that's what
work
makes more sense.
makes
I live off
Yeah.
of Highway 92, so I'm thinking
Yeah.
92.
Yeah.
But
I
anyways,
feel
you
you.
go there because that's where they have like the all-American style food, and you do grab a plate. So grab a plate, and then in a little corner of the plate, you're gonna put French fries.
That's right.
And the French fries are your thinking fries, and you will walk around the Commons eating fries as you make decisions based on what there is at Globetrotters or
There you go.
apron strings. So that's my hot take.
I love it. We just go opposite directions.
Exactly.
But same mentality.
And if they're sweet potato fries or curly fries, those are good days.
My favorite is coffee. So I'm a coffee drinker. I have coffee hidden. You can't see it, but I'm a coffee drinker every day. And so we've got great coffee on both campuses. So when you walk into the Commons, we've got coffee. As soon as you walk in, the grind station is as soon as you walk in, and they make lattes. They make espresso drinks right there for
Super
you
good.
as soon as you walk in. But then on the Marietta campus, we also have a really cool partnership with Cool Beans. So if you're not familiar with Cool Beans coffee, Cool Beans is actually roasted by an alum. That's a coffee roaster right off the Marietta campus, Marietta Square. That's right. And so we serve Cool Beans coffee in Stingers in Marietta. So that's just a cool way for you to get your coffee fix if you love coffee like me. But some great options: coffee, I love coffee, French fries, and pizza. But lots of
Can't
other
go
great
wrong.
options. in the dining halls as well. So, and in the video mentioned our retail dining options too. So we've got Chick-fil-A, we've got Moe's, Panda Express here on the Kennesaw campus. We've got Starbucks. I love coffee, so Starbucks, I love Starbucks. So if you've got kind of more of a craving for the fast food kind of type options, we've got sandwich places and things like that for you as well.
Yeah.
So I also want to mention that our dining halls are more than just for food. So our dining halls are really a place that community happens and that our students come to gather.
Yeah.
And so in a second, we're going to talk about housing, and I think students that live on campus have a really enriched experience at KSU. But students that have meal plans and that eat in the dining halls also are a part of that on-campus experience, even if they're commuting to campus.
Yeah, for sure.
Because a lot of community happens in the dining halls, whether students are coming to eat in between classes with their buddies or if they are studying in the dining halls. It's kind of a place where life happens between classes is kind of what we like to say.
And lots of cool events.
That's
too.
right, lots of events too. So in a traditional year that's not during COVID, we've had programs like bingo nights and karaoke and things like that.
Luau's.
Luau's, we've had luau's as well. That's what the picture is on the screen if you can see it. So we have had events like that, but this year, even in a COVID world, we're having safe events in our dining halls as well. So we have an event called Stinger's Steakhouse, and that's where students get a premium entree. They get a delicious meal, and it's kind of a premium cut of meat, like a prime rib or a really nice cut of steak or a really nice Angus burger, and a side and a dessert. And that's something that they can experience in Stingers right now. And we also have an event, like this is another great example of a safe event that we're doing. Last week, there was the Fresh Air Fridays. You guys heard about this, right?
Oh,
Yeah, that was awesome.
So the Marching Owls were performing on the green, and then in the dining halls, we did a promotion where if students took their takeout from the dining halls, we gave them free blankets. So they could go and have picnics on the green. So it was a great way for them to use their meal plans and get a free giveaway from us and just go enjoy the beautiful weather. It was an awesome day.
I love watching some of our tour guides post
Yes.
on Instagram about coming to get food and get their blankets, and I thought it's so awesome.
Yeah, and then they got to celebrate the Marching Owls
Yeah.
too, who had a phenomenal performance out on the green. So we really try to make sure that the dining experience is a really part of the student experience and that those things aren't separate. They're really integrated and they're a part of the same. So that's just a little bit about dining. But now we're gonna take some questions from you guys.
Nice.
Yeah.
Fire away.
All right, guys. So since you briefly talked about pizza and the garlic knots and all of that stuff, would you like to elaborate on what other options our students have as far as getting something to eat?
Sure.
What else do you need?
Yeah.
I'm having pizza and French fries.
I'm just kidding.
I can start, and then if you guys think of other things to add. So in the Commons, we have several different stations. We have kind of an Asian fusion station, and we have like a Mexican fusion station. So those are kind of staples. They always have food all the time. So there's like a make your own nacho bar, taco bar kind of station where you can DIY. You can like make your own stuff. But you can also like make your own. A lot of people will use that to make their own taco salads if they want. If you're trying to be healthier, we have salad bars. Right now, our dining halls are not self-serve, so we have staff that are actually serving the students in the dining halls, but you can still enjoy all of these options. And then we have burgers and fries, kind of just on a regular basis. Burgers, fries, hot dogs, things like that,
Grilled
like tater
cheese.
tots.
So good.
Grilled cheese, those are kind of
One
staples
of
that
the
are
best.
always around. The pizza, the garlic knots, like those are things that are kind of always on the
Always there.
line and available. But we have some stations like Globetrotters in the Commons and Apron Strings, and those are stations that are constantly changing. So the lunch and the dinner options for those stations are always going to be a little different, just based on what the menu of the day is. So sometimes you might see there might be like a pot roast option that day, or a pork loin, but we have fried chicken Thursdays every single
Some
Thursday.
of their fish options are phenomenal.
Really
Like,
good fish. Salmon.
So good. The salmon,
salmon.
at Stingers. Oh my gosh.
we
It's a
love the
good
salmon
day
at
when there's
Stingers.
salmon.
That's so true. Yes, and so we also have like crawfish boils and things like that that our students really look forward to. So we try to mix it up. We have a variety, but students can also come in and get cereal and sandwiches and a salad bar too if they're just wanting to do something simple for lunch.
Yeah, and I think it's good to point out that in these options, there's something for everyone. So if you have some sort of allergy or dietary restriction, the food is clearly labeled, and our staff is so approachable. So if you are trying, maybe like having a little trouble finding something that's right for you, they will walk you through the stations and tell you what things are gluten-free, dairy-free, or whatever it is that needs to fit your dietary restriction.
Really nice.
Yes, our chefs are, they want to make your meal plan and your experience work for you. So we've had people reach out to us that are like, I feel like there's not a lot of options for me. I have a really restrictive allergy, but they will walk them through and show them exactly how they prepare the food and say, this station is really safe for you to eat because we don't use this kind of ingredient here. This is a good place for you to eat. Or they will make custom food for you that works within your allergies. They want to do that. They want to make sure you get the most of your experience on campus.
Cool, good question.
Question regarding meal plan specifically. Is it a requirement for every student that isn't an online specific student to have a meal plan of some sort coming to Kennesaw State?
Great question. Do you want to answer that?
Sure. So it is not a requirement for every student to get a meal plan. However, it is required for residential students to have a meal plan. So any student that is choosing to live on campus, whether they are upper class or first year, will be required to purchase a meal plan. It really just makes the most sense for them because they are on campus all the time. However, our commuter students are always able to purchase a meal plan, and we highly recommend it. Not only because the food is phenomenal and we've gone on and talk about it, but it is so convenient for you to have a meal plan. I was a commuter student when I, came to Kennesaw, and I had a meal plan, and it was honestly one of the best decisions because I was able to eat between my classes.
You didn't have to drive somewhere.
Yeah, not to have to go off campus to find food, to come back, to have to park my car again, and so just being able to also feel more connected to campus because my friends who were residential students would be like, hey, we're going to dinner. I had a 5 o'clock class, and it's like, hey, we're going to dinner after class. Do you want to come? Yeah, sure, absolutely.
Helps you make friends, helps you be a part of those study groups and things like that.
Yeah, so it's not required for our commuter students, but highly, highly recommended just because it helps you feel so connected to campus. And you don't want to miss out on this great food.
That's right.
So.
Yeah, and I did the opposite thing. When I was later on as an upperclassman and I stopped having a meal plan, I really regretted it, to be honest. Like, from my experience, I really missed out later on. And I had to pay more money when I did want to go and meet with my friends versus having the meal plan where you don't pay as much money.
Yeah, there is cost savings. There's cost savings definitely having that meal plan on the front end of the year, which is a great point. Yeah, great questions.
Cool. Any other questions? Oh, awesome.
Yes. So as far as the different dining plans that Kennesaw State has to offer, could you guys expound on that? Like if there's unlimited entrances and stuff like that?
Yeah, sure. So our meal plans for this coming year, so our meal plans for the spring have been determined. They are going to be exactly like the fall. So if anybody's asking that question that is maybe a current student, that information is going to be on our website very soon, but they will look exactly the same as they did in the fall. But if you are coming in for fall 2021, the meal plans have not yet been decided yet. So we try to communicate that information as soon as we can, but that information has to get approved by the Board of Regents. So as that information becomes available, we will update our website at dining.kennesaw.edu. But the structure of those meal plans right now could look different next year because this year they were really based on creating a really COVID-friendly environment and giving students that flexibility to use their meals when they could, when it worked with their schedules. So it might look a little different next year, and so you can look at our website to get a good idea, but more information will come out soon about that. Closer to the start of the fall.
I think a hot tip here would be like once you're accepted to the university, start checking your student email as soon as possible because that's where we communicate so much of this information. So if you're interested in getting a meal plan, if you're interested in living on campus, if you're interested in any of these campus services things, we will communicate with you early and often via your student email. So once you get accepted, start checking that, and then you'll learn more information, when it's time to learn it.
Create good habits now.
Yes,
that's right.
Daily
Absolutely.
check your Kennesaw email address because not only is Campus Services going to email you, but financial aid's going to email you there. The registrar is going to email you there.
Very important information in there. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And the most heartbreaking thing I think for us too is on orientation day where people come to us and they're like, oh, I had no idea I was supposed to apply for housing or something. So be checking your email. It's the best thing you can do for yourself to set yourself up for success.
Right.
Yes.
Very cool.
All right. So I think now we're going to transition into talking a little bit more about housing, but we're excited to take more of your questions at the end of this. So if you have questions about housing or other campus services topics, keep commenting away and we will take more of those at the end.
Yeah, so housing and residence life is one of the most exciting parts about about coming to college for a lot of students. It's kind of that first sense of independence and freedom.
Yeah.
And so before we dive into housing, we want to show you a quick video and then we'll go into more detail.
Housing and residence life offers many great amenities to students living on campus, from conveniently located communities that are close to everything campus has to offer, to fun and educational programs organized by our professional staff, as well as residential assistants, or RAs. We have several first-year communities between both campuses, which include KSU Place, University Village, and University Village Suites in Kennesaw, and Hornet Village and University Columns in Marietta. Visit our website at ksuhousing.kennesaw.edu to take a virtual tour of each of these communities and to check out the amenities available in each bedroom, apartment, and community. Once you get to campus, the fun really begins. We have move-in weekend events that kick off the first night of move-in, and there are tons of events happening around campus the first few weeks of school. There will be plenty of opportunities to get involved and make new connections within your housing community and around campus. Visit the housing website, ksuhousing.kennesaw.edu, for more information, and reach out to the Talon One Service Center with your questions. We can't wait to meet you and welcome you to the nest.
All right, so that was a really quick video. It's a super highlighted look at housing and residence life, but we're gonna dive into, some things that maybe you have some questions about a little bit more, but we want to start out with, why do students want to live on campus? Why is it such a big part of the college experience, right? And there's a lot of reasons, but I think top three would be that students want to feel connected. They want to feel connected to the campus culture. They want to feel like they're a part of something almost bigger than they are, and living on campus just, lets you do that. The second would be that it's been shown that students who live on campus perform better academically.
Yep.
They're able to focus on their studies a lot more. They're able to just not have to think about so many moving pieces. You can walk to class, you can walk to the library.
You're closer to those resources.
Yeah, absolutely. Your resources right there. And the connectivity that it just gives you, right? So we have so many ways for students to feel like they're a part of housing, whether that be through our programming, through being able to be close to those resources, and the support that you get from our staff when you're here. And so I know that living on campus definitely marks you when you first go to college. I know you have a funny story about that when you first went.
Yeah. This is part of my story is that, especially coming from admissions, working in admissions my entire career, we hear at KSU admissions all the time about parents and families and students being so shocked how nice housing is here at KSU. Just the options that they're going to have. And that they cannot believe that this is college.
Yeah.
And so I usually put it in perspective and say, it's nothing like what the parents have had or what I had, because I had concrete block walls.
like that.
You weren't allowed to put anything up, so no posters, no nothing. You couldn't put up on the concrete block wall.
Yeah.
So, and then I could reach out from my bunk bed and touch my roommate because he was that close, and we liked each other, and that was fine. But nothing like the incredible experience you have at KSU.
Yeah.
Either campus.
Yeah.
We've come a long way.
Yeah.
way.
Oh, absolutely. Right. And that was my experience for 2 years straight. So we had community showers. They were pink tile walls, which was, for 18-year-old male, that was very interesting to me. My residence hall was built in 1941, so just anyways.
A lot of history there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
a lot of character.
Our character. That's the way to say it.
So we definitely want to show you some of our housing options here on the Kennesaw campus and the Marietta campus. And so we're going to show you this quick slide. And these are some outside views, obviously, of our residence halls. But on the Kennesaw campus, for first-year students, we have University Village Suites, University Village Apartments, and KSU Place Apartments. And these are all really awesome first year housing options. And really, when you compare them to some of the other schools, you're like, I get a full apartment my first year? That's crazy, right? And so the suites are what we call like suite style, which means that they don't have a full kitchen inside of them. They have a small kitchenette, but these buildings do have community kitchens on the second and fourth floor of the buildings, which is a really awesome amenity for these students. And University Village and KSU Place are full-size apartments. So a lot of these units have washers and dryers inside of them. They have a full kitchen, living room area. And so when you come in, you're gonna be living in an apartment with your roommates. You get to cook your own meals if you want to. Most people don't want to. That's why we have.
That's why they have meal plans.
Yeah, that's why we have meal plans.
That's okay.
But still, these are really, really awesome options for our first year students. And then on the Marietta campus, we have the Hornet Village Suites, which is very similar to University Village Suites. It's a suite style apartment, Howell Hall and University Columns. Now, Howell Hall is a traditional style residence hall. So
no pink bathrooms.
But
though.
no pink bathrooms.
No pink bathrooms.
Yeah. So
Bummer.
for the 2020-21 year, Howell Hall is offline, which means that there are no students living in it right now because it is being remodeled. So
Exciting.
yeah, so this is really exciting.
It's gonna be so cool.
Yeah, and
Yes.
the designs are really like modern and
very modern.
It's kind of like a loft vibe, is what we've been told.
Yep.
So we're really
Industrial,
excited.
yes.
Yeah, we're so excited for students to be able to live in Howell Hall again. And there are a lot of really good benefits to living in traditional style housing. Students say
community.
that the community is
Yes.
so strong with these students. And so we're so excited to be able to have Howell Hall as an offering again. And we have University Columns, which is a very unique style of housing. I think that
unique.
the Marietta campus has the most unique offering of housings because we have suite style, we have the traditional style, and we have University Columns, which are houses. They are very large houses, and they have a full-size kitchen. They have a washer dryer inside them, a very large gathering space for the roommates. But they used to be like Greek-style houses, and we've turned them into a residence hall. So they're very unique, like I said, on the Marietta campus, but there is something for everyone. And so we're so excited to show this to you. And you might be wondering what they look like on the inside. Well, we created this small video that I want to talk you through on how you can see our virtual tours. So we would love to show you every single one of our residence halls in person, but we're just not able to do that. But if you go to our website, ksuhousing.kennesaw.edu, on our menu, you'll be able to pick the first year housing options and be able to see all of them right there for both campuses. Once you pick which residence hall you would like to look at, the first thing you're going to be able to see is this gray box that takes you into a virtual tour. And in the virtual tour, you're able to click and drag your mouse to be able to see every corner of the unit, which
Nothing
is
is
so
hidden.
cool.
That's so
Nothing is
cool.
hidden. You can see every little bit of
Literally
it.
every corner. And if you see any of those little blue bubbles and dots on the wall, those are call outs that tell you the measurements, how high the wall is, what comes inside the unit. And literally you're able to turn like 360 degrees up, down, side, to the left. And we have virtual tours for every single space. So if you don't see it up there, if you scroll down, you're able to see other parts of it. This one is a community kitchen in University Village Suites. But if you're looking to see what KSU Place looks like, the Village, Hornet Village,
Even what a laundry room
or
looks
laundry
like.
room looks like, you're able to
have
use
that.
them. And one cool thing about this is if you have virtual reality goggles, you can like walk through the space. Yeah.
Or if your phone is converted into VR, if you can set it up that way, you can view it as a virtual reality as well.
Yeah,
That is so cool.
we love that we have this offering available for every single one of our floor plans and every single one of our residence halls. But we do have an exciting announcement, and Tiffany's going to talk a little bit about it.
Yes, so we have, on the next slide, we have virtual, so Catherine just talked to you about our virtual tours. If you want to see tours at home, from the comfort of your own living space. But you can also come see us and come see housing in person from November 23rd to December 18th. We have very limited spots available, but admissions is giving campus tours during that time. And we are, we're adding housing back in as an option for that tour. So if you're coming for a campus tour from November 23rd through December 18th, the admissions tour guides will be taking you through to see one different property on each campus. So you get a chance to see University Village Suites on the Kennesaw campus and Hornet Village Suites on the Marietta campus. So I will say these tours these tours are hot commodities,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
They go really quickly because it's such a popular time for students to go for tours. So if you're interested in seeing housing in person, highly recommend you book a tour by going to visit.kennesaw.edu. Not y'all's website, not as familiar with it, of course. But definitely book a tour so that you can come and see housing. We're just doing it during this time. It's our online learning period, so there will be less students here. So really, it's a great time to come so that we can, make sure it's as safe as possible, really.
This is inside information that
Yes.
Tiffany's sharing with you. This is why you watch Facebook
That's
Lives,
right.
whether it be admissions doing it or campus services.
The first time we're talking about this.
Right, so this is
Yeah.
like secret information. So if you're out there and you're watching Facebook, you're watching YouTube right now, maybe you keep it to yourself. Maybe you tell your best friend, hey,
That's
we're
right.
going to Kennesaw during this time because we're going to see our future housing. You know,
Yeah.
and this is the time to do it.
That's right.
So, but this is why you participate in these types of events.
Absolutely.
And the good news is this is actually, that window of time is also when our housing application opens up, which we're just about to talk about. So it'll give you a great idea of maybe what your options might be when it's time to book your housing in the spring.
Yeah.
Nice.
So the housing application, every time this comes around, every year, it just gets more and more exciting. But the housing application, this is the information that you've been waiting for. And for first-year students, for the 21-22 year, the housing applications opened on December 1st. So it's so easy to remember. First day of December, that's when our housing application opens. And
Pretty much rhymed.
Yeah,
It's so easy to remember.
it opens the 1st
day
of December. Wow.
You can make a song, a country singer, a country artist in the
We'll
making.
do it. Catherine and I will do it.
Yeah, we're going to make a song.
Take it on the road.
But we're so excited to announce this date. So this is just for first-year students. And so thing to remember is that you have to be accepted to the university to apply for housing.
Right.
So if
Big
you
deal.
haven't been accepted yet or you haven't applied yet, what are you waiting for? Apply now.
Yes, apply to the university.
The earlier you get accepted to the university, the earlier you can apply for housing, and that just makes your life so much easier.
Absolutely.
Really, the earlier that you do the steps in our housing application, the better it will set you up for success as you keep going through the steps. So we have 3 steps in total for the housing application. Step 1, you're starting the application, you're signing your license agreement, and you're letting us know, I'm so excited to live on campus. Step 2 is an optional step, but a highly recommended one. It is roommate selection. So March 2021, sounds so weird saying 2021, but come on 2021.
Super
We're ready
future.
for it. We're ready
Yeah.
for it.
Yep.
But March 2021 is when roommate selection opens. So again, this is an optional step, but if you have someone that you want to live with and they're also coming to KSU, you can choose to room together or you can choose a roommate during this time. So during step 1 of the housing application, you're filling out your profile, you're telling us about yourself, and then in step 2, you're gonna be able to compare other students' profiles and be able to choose a student and ask them like, hey, do you wanna live with me? We have a lot of things in common. It's kind of like a dating profile, but like less creepy.
Well, we give you matches.
Yeah, we do give you potential matches, and
Yeah.
it's like
Service.
Yeah, we give you a
98%
percentage.
compatible,
Whoa.
85% compatible.
Okay.
You can message each other. You can share contact information if you want to. We're not gonna, force you to. But awesome step for you if you want to live with a roommate, or you can choose to have one randomly selected for you and say bon chance for yourself. But
You
very
have to
exciting.
teach me what that means. I have no
Good
idea.
luck.
what you
Good
just
luck
said.
in French.
Oh, thank you. My French stopped at first grade, so.
Oh,
Yep.
first grade French. That's
I grew up in North Carolina at that point in time, and you took a language. Anyways, long story short, yeah, pretty cool. It was a good idea. Yeah.
interesting. Well, step 3 of the housing application, April 2021, you're going to be selecting your room. So there are some schools that place students in bedrooms.
That's right.
We don't do that here. We let you select what room. And that's
Really
why we
nice.
have such amazing virtual tours so you can see each space and start comparing them and say, I think I like this community better than this one, or the price of this community makes more sense for me financially than this one. And so
And you
you're-
can prioritize them.
Yeah.
So you can start to say, I really want to live in the suites, but I would also be cool with living in the village. And
Yeah.
then I would my third choice would be KSU Place. And so then when you go into room selection, you're already kind of ready.
Yeah.
Because you've had a chance to look at all of our virtual tours.
Absolutely. And so all of this will be determined determined what we call time tickets, and every student will have their own time ticket for when they can go in and start selecting your room. Important to know that your time ticket is based on when you sign your license agreement in step 1. So again, the earlier you do it, the better time ticket you're gonna get. And I know that you maybe have a lot more questions about this, but mark your calendars, because we're going to be doing a Facebook Live event similar to this, but only on the housing application. So I will be joined by someone from the housing team who is super knowledgeable about this entire process.
The most knowledgeable.
The most knowledgeable. He's kind of the head honcho of this
He knows
process.
it better than any of us. He's an expert.
Yeah, so it'll be me and Chris, and we will be talking about the housing application in detail. So November 18th at 7 p.m. on the KSU Facebook page. We'll also share it to the Housing and Residence Life page. But you definitely don't want to miss this. If you're interested in living on campus, we're going to go into so much more detail than we're able to do now and answer all of your questions. And we're really, really excited about that. So we hope that you're able to join us on that date. And I know that we've kind of chatted a lot, and so we'll open it up right now for questions about housing or other campus services.
Perfect. Fire away.
All right, guys. So if you guys could explain if there is a live-on requirement for either our Kennesaw campus or our Marietta campus or both.
Question.
Sure.
Nice.
So it's kind of like a two-parted answer, right?
Part
So part 1 is no. There's not a live-on requirement for students that have Kennesaw campus-based majors. So if you are a student who has a major that is based on the Kennesaw campus, then no, there's no live-on requirement for you. If you are a student with a Marietta-based major, so a Marietta campus-based major, then yes, there is a live-on requirement. And you might be asking yourself, why? Why do we do this? This is confusing. Well, the reason we do this is because our Marietta campus are our STEM-based majors for the most part. And it's been proven that those kinds of majors perform so much better academically when they are on campus, because their classes require so much more.
They're more rigorous.
Yeah. And so it's kind of a two-part, and if you have more questions about that, feel free to reach out to us. We'd be happy to answer that in more detail, but that's kind of the answer right there. Marietta, yes. Kennesaw, no. And if you're not sure where your campus is based, you can actually look that up online. I don't remember the website exactly, but
We
it's
link to it on our housing website.
We do.
So if you want to visit our housing website and go to the Marietta Live-On requirement information on our website, we link to those majors so you can find out which major
is on what campus.
you are and which campus you're associated with. Yeah.
Adam.
Is it restricted just to one roommate that you can choose, or is there a possibility of choosing more than one roommate when you're coming to either campus?
Yeah, that's a great question. We only allow you to select one preferred roommate. And the reason we do this is because when you go into room selection, it can become kind of tricky when there is more than one other person that you are selecting a bed for. So in times past, we did this where you could select up to 4 people or 3 other people to live with you. And when it came time to room selection, it just got a little bit crazy, and it wasn't the best student experience. And so we've changed that. So if you are coming in and you're very popular and all of your best friends are coming to Kennesaw, and you say, me, Samantha, Jane, and Mary want to live all together. So two of you can be in one room pairing, and then the other people can be in another room pairing. And when it comes time to room selection, you can chat with each other and say, we're selecting this room and these beds. Let's try to do it together.
Nice.
That's why it's so important to tune into our housing application Facebook Live event, because we will go into so many more details about that.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, so this can kind of tie into what we were talking about. So how competitive is it to get a room on campus?
Great question.
Yeah.
I can take this one.
Sure.
So it's super competitive, and I don't want to I don't want to create any panic with that. But we don't have as much housing on campus as we wish we had for all of our incoming students that want housing. So really, and that's a bummer for us, because we wish that we could give housing to every student that's coming to KSU that wants housing. But that's why it's so important to apply early to KSU and to apply for housing as soon as you've committed to KSU. Yeah. Apply as soon as you can, December 1st, as soon as our application opens, just to guarantee that you've applied as early as you can to increase the likelihood that you get housing, because it is so competitive. But we really encourage you, as long as you apply super early, your chances are really good of getting housing. So just apply as early as you can, and we'll cross our fingers for you.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yep. Adam.
So I had a question regarding living learning communities. I believe the acronym LLC.
Yeah.
And if that is a separate application process or is that all in one with the housing program?
Yeah, so Living Learning Communities have now been rebranded to Living Learning Villages. Same concept, we just gave it a new name. We like villages a little bit more, it makes it feel more homey.
fun,
Yeah. So Living Learning Villages, if your student or you, the student, are interested in living in one, basically what a living learning village is a more specialized housing experiences for students who have common interests. And so we have living learning villages for students who are interested in gaming or students who are first-time generation college students.
Or outdoor adventures.
outdoor
if you like to
adventures.
hike, things like that. Or
Yeah.
if you're an engineer major.
Yeah. So we have lots of different options on both campuses for first year and upper class students. And so if you're interested in a living learning village, you would tell us that you're interested in one during the housing application. So it is part of the first step of the housing application. You would tell us, I'm interested in this one, and then you would continue the process that way. So if you're interested in a living learning village, we'll talk a little bit more about them during our Facebook Live event on November 18th. There's information about them on our website as well, but you would do that through the housing application.
And in addition to that, there are, for some communities, additional applications to become a part of that community. So Honors is a great example. So we have Honors Living Learning Villages on both campuses, on Marietta and Kennesaw. But in order to be accepted into the Honors Living Learning Village, you have to be accepted into the Honors program. And so you have to apply to both the Honors Housing and the Honors program and be accepted to both in order to live in our Honors Living Learning Villages. So we're going to go into more detail about stuff like that during our Facebook Live event on November 18th. So we hope that you will tune in if you have more questions like that.
Good plug. Another plug.
I know, we're going to say it like
we're gonna
10 more
keep
times.
plugging
Yeah.
it. And it's going to
November
be full
18th.
of awesome information. Yes.
Yeah.
All right, so I know that we've talked about a lot of freshman housing, but we are getting a lot of questions for upperclassmen and transfer students. What
Sure.
are their housing options like?
Yeah, so upper class students and transfer students are considered upper class students for us. The housing application for them for the 21-22 year opens on January 6th at 10 a.m. So it opens at a different time and the housing options are different. So on the Kennesaw campus, Austin Residence Complex, or ARC for short, is the upper class option. And then on the Marietta campus, we have University Commons and University Courtyard apartments. So those are the options for upper class students there. You can actually view those on our website as well. Our housing options for upper class students are a little bit more limited and a little bit more competitive than even first year options because they're just less quantity of them available. And so if you're interested, again, in living on campus as an upper class student, apply as early as possible. That application opens January 6th and more information is available on our website.
Awesome.
I had a question regarding limitations with each housing process. Now, the question mentioned specifically like TV size and electronics that you can bring with you. I'm guessing those are going to be included with the housing process where you choose. They'll have each will be specific to the housing.
So we talk a lot more about that when we start thinking about move-in. So when you're applying for housing, your main goal should be to get a room on campus.
That's right.
Once you secured that room on campus in April-ish, around that time, then we're going to transition our conversations into move-in. And so before move-in, we do our best to get you really prepared. We give you packing lists. We give you a do not pack list.
Yeah.
And
like
then
that
more
What to
information.
leave at home.
What to leave
Yeah,
at
yeah,
home.
yeah.
Like your dog or your cat.
Yeah, don't bring them.
Yeah.
But as far as like TV sizes and electronics and things like that you can bring, we don't really restrict that much on that.
Except for routers.
Yeah, routers, Wi-Fi, don't bring that. We provide
have great
Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi.
We do.
Awesome Wi-Fi in our residence halls.
But use your best judgment. Maybe in a smaller residence hall room, an 80-inch TV might not be the
Might
best
not work.
option,
Your
right?
roommates
I don't
might
know.
also not
Right.
love that.
You
All
can't
about
mount
priorities.
them.
No, I think they would love it.
If you're in the gaming community, they would absolutely
love it. Yeah,
That's true.
But
That's
you
true.
can't mount anything on the wall. So if you bring a TV, make sure it has a stand so it can stand on its own on a TV stand or on your dresser. But we will give more information about do's and don'ts before you move in.
You bring an 80-inch TV, you have to mount it on the ceiling, facing down.
Scary.
Our
When-
facilities people are going to be like, what are you doing?
Let me tell you my old man college story. So when I went to college, I had an 11-inch TV Wow. You probably didn't even know they made them that small. 11-inch TV.
Laptops are
That's like
I
smaller
mean,
than
yeah,
a piece
it's
of
like,
paper.
well, I didn't have a laptop, by the way, either. Like that
Right.
wasn't a thing. I mean, it was, but only rich people had that. So I had an 11-inch TV that was my family's travel TV, which now we talk about 1%ers. A travel TV that we had a Suburban. They would shove it in the seat between the front
It had
two
a
seats.
handle?
Had a
My dad
handle
used
on
to
the
do that
top,
for me.
Nice.
Yeah.
and it had a VCR built in. So it was top notch.
Fancy.
It was white. So yeah, really, really cool. That was my TV. I did play video games on it, so pretty cool.
Like your Atari.
Yeah. Dang, that's savage. Oh, what a joke. That was a good one. That was a good
People
one.
in the comments are like, what is an Atari?
Yeah, exactly. They have to look it up. Yeah, good point. No, they've seen like what is that? Ready Player One, so they probably know. But
funny.
yeah, I had a PlayStation. It was the very first edition of a PlayStation.
So exciting.
Yeah. But I still remember one of the guys down the hall in my traditional residence hall brought in this giant, what was brand new technology, a flat screen TV.
Wow.
The one
So
with
that-
the huge back.
Oh yeah, it was a
yeah.
giant back.
Took up a whole room.
I mean,
Like a
that thing
box.
probably weighed 200 pounds.
Oh yeah.
That's so
But
crazy.
a giant to us was like, I think it was like 32 inches, and we were like,
But probably awesome for like football games and stuff like that.
oh yeah, anything, right?
Yeah.
Anything, yeah. So anyways,
awesome.
the good old days.
We've
So
come
now,
a long way
Now you can
with
carry an
technology.
80-inch TV by yourself.
Right. Because they're this thin.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Cool. Good stories. Okay.
I think we have time for
That's
one
just
more
for me.
question.
Yeah. Perfect. Yeah.
All right, so there's a lot of people asking questions about our wait list. So what does that look like when it comes to students? How long students will be on it? Stuff like that.
Sure. So the wait list. We do get lots of questions about the wait list. However, the wait list is not something that you need to worry about if you apply early. So our wait list is really for students who either wait to apply or wait to the university and get accepted a lot later. We do tend to hit a wait list every year because, like Tiffany was saying, we just have more demand than housing available. What we like to tell students on the wait list is to be patient. And I know that sucks to hear, and nobody wants to hear that. But really, that's kind of your best course of action, is to be patient. And so you'll be able to see, as a student, you'll be able to see what place you are on the wait list, and that number is going to be your best indicator, right? So that number will start to go down as we begin to place students. And our wait list, we usually hit around middle of May is kind of when I want to say middle, end of May, and especially June and July. So those summer months is when we're looking at a wait list, but we will place students from the wait list as beds become available. So we don't just like hoard them. Like if a bed becomes available, we try to get a student in there as quickly as possible. And so if you do, see a wait list, watch your number, reach out to the Talent One Service Center if you've got questions, and make the decision that works best for you and your family. And so if you're able to wait a little longer and be on that wait list for a little longer, wait for a bed to become available, that's awesome. We tend to place students well into the beginning of the fall semester. But if you know that you need to secure housing as quickly as possible, then go ahead and give us a call, cancel your license agreement with us, and look for off-campus housing options as well. For the spring semester, I know that maybe we have some students thinking about spring. We are on a wait list for that as well right now. I was told by our team that we will begin placing more students starting on Monday. And so we are waiting to start making sure that we've got a good number of beds available to start placing students in. So Monday, you should start seeing that number kind of change if you're looking for beds for the spring 2021 semester. If you don't, see a huge change, feel free to reach out to us again, to the Talent One Service Center. They're happy to answer your questions. But again, just have a little bit of patience on that wait list.
And we will continue placing,
Yeah.
just like for the fall, where we place into September, we will place into January for our spring beds that are available as well. So as beds become available, we will place.
Pay attention.
That's
Yes.
right. Just pay attention.
Be ready.
Watch your email.
There you
Watch
go.
your phone. We call and email.
Wise words from Campus Services. Y'all are fantastic. I always love doing these kinds of things with y'all
Thank
because
you
you're
for
so
having
wonderful
us.
to work with. Our Campus Services folks are truly phenomenal professionals, and they truly care about you. So we hope that you find your home, your next nest here at KSU. We are at the end of our session.
Yeah,
So
that flew. That
time
flew
goes
by.
by. Yeah, more owl jokes flying. Yeah, puns.
Unintended that time.
Yeah, right.
one was
That was
unintended.
just well said. We have thoroughly enjoyed being with y'all, and get ready for the next session. It is career planning and development and undergraduate research, so some heavy hitters, really cool things happening here at the university. A reminder, fill out your raffle giveaway. So make sure you do that if you haven't done it yet this session. We had our special visitor on earlier. So make sure you go to the raffle giveaway. And we always end with Owl Eyes and a Hootie Hoo. So y'all ready to do it with me?
Yeah, before we do that, we want to make sure that people know that our contact
Oh, yeah,
information
yeah,
is
good call,
on
good call.
the screen. So our social media handles, those are all of our Instagram handles, our websites, and Talon One. Can't forget Talon One. If you've got any questions, feel free to DM us on Instagram, message us on Facebook, call Talon One. We're here to service you.
Perfect.
And, you know, we're just so excited to welcome you to the nest. So, hootie hoo.
It's gonna be a
Hootie
good year.
hoo.
Hootie hoo. Thanks you guys so much for having us.